What up, y'all? This is Tracy from Nerd Squish, and today we're doing a horror movie challenge. One of my friends here on YouTube, Adam Bryant, tagged me in his horror movie challenge, and the minute I saw it, I said challenge accepted. So Adam put together a list of 10 different genres of horror movies, and we are challenged to pick our favorite, or what we think is the best in that category. And low-key, this stressed me out. Some of these categories feel like picking your favorite child. You know, you may already kind of have a feeling for which one I struggled with. If you know, you know. And the timing is perfect as we are rolling into spooky season. We are under 100 days until the best day of the year. So keep these in mind for spooky season. When you're looking for a spooky movie to watch on a cold fall night. What's a cold fall night? I don't even know what that is. That is completely fantasy where I live. But you know what I mean. If you need to cozy up on an autumn night, watching a spooky movie, maybe keep these recommendations in mind. I did roll through my collection to grab physical copies of the things that I do have. There are some on this list that I don't have physical copies, but I had to grab what I have. Our very first category is classic black and white horror film, and who would I be if I did not pick 1941's The Wolfman? Would this even be a Nerd Squish video if I didn't start with a werewolf film? Come on. Of course, this is one of the classic Universal monster films that helped define the myth of the werewolf. In this movie, we follow Larry Talbot, who goes back home after his brother dies and he gets attacked by a wolf and becomes cursed to become a werewolf under the light of the full moon. Our main character, Larry, and the werewolf is beautifully portrayed by Lon Chaney Jr., who did in fact refer to the werewolf as his baby. This was his pride and joy, and I get it. And of course, we have to mention the beautiful makeup done by the legendary Jack Pierce. Fun fact, in the original script, you never saw the transformation on screen. The audience was led to kind of wonder, like, is he actually a werewolf, or is this all in his head? Is Talbot a bit cuckoo for werewolves? Luckily, the studio changed their mind and they decided that audiences would find the movie more appealing if they could see the transformation. And thank God they made that decision to give us this legendary werewolf film. Our second category is vampire film, which of course I had to pick The Lost Boys. The 1987 horror comedy directed by Joel Schumacher, following the story of two teenage boys who move to a beach town and find out that the town is a haven for vampires, is a masterpiece, and you cannot convince me otherwise. This movie is my personality, and if you don't like it, I don't like you. I'm kidding. Maybe. We have seen many takes on vampires over the years. We've seen everything from a classy lad like Dracula to whatever the sparkly things are in Twilight and everything in between. Now, these vampires in this movie, in my opinion, are the perfect type of vampire. They're kind of equal parts alluring and terrifying, and I just love the makeup. We have the Coreys, 80s fashion, an oiled up dude playing the saxophone, and the sassiness of Grandpa. What more could you want in a movie? Number 3 is a werewolf film, my favorite category of horror movies, and of course, I had to go with An American Werewolf in London. As I mentioned before, picking a favorite in all these categories is very difficult when you are a movie lover. And of course, as a werewolf lover, this was so difficult for me, but I think we can all kind of universally agree, for the most part, that this is one of the best werewolf movies of all time. Two American tourists attacked by a werewolf in, you guessed it, London. One dies, and the other is cursed to become a bloodthirsty beast under the light of the full moon. Sure, this movie has the best transformation scene that we have ever seen in a werewolf film, beautifully executed by the legendary Rick Baker, but there's honestly so much more to this film. It's the perfect blend of horror, comedy, and shock. Now, if you've seen any of my other videos before, you know that I can be a bit of a snob when it comes to werewolf designs. And the werewolf in this film is not my favorite kind. Now, he's kind of the middle, right? He's not just a wolf. He's not this half man, half wolf. He's this oversized demonic wolf. He's like somewhere in the middle, right? So not my favorite. But this movie is so good that I don't care. Like, I am not bothered by the final wolf because it's just perfect. It's perfect. Now, I say that as a werewolf fan and a horror comedy fan, and this just, it checks all the boxes for me. So clearly, this was gonna be my favorite werewolf film, but I have so many, it's truly hard to pick. Coming in at number 4, we have Creature Feature, which I, of course, had to go with 1975's Jaws. One of the best movies of all time, no matter the genre, is Steven Spielberg's take on the Peter Benchley novel. A killer shark is terrorizing a beach town, leaving the police chief, a marine biologist, and a professional shark hunter to get rid of the beast. This was the first major film to be shot on the ocean, which of course led to a lot of malfunctions and problems in the filming process, but you would never know because this movie is in fact flawless. The mechanical shark that was built for the movie malfunctioned constantly, which is what led them to make the shark very ominous, very mysterious, very suggestive. Now, I'm sure at the time in filming, Steven Spielberg and crew were so frustrated with this. They probably hated it. They were fed up and like, this is it. This is going to make this movie bomb. But it's low-key one of the best things that could have happened because there's nothing more terrifying than your own imagination and imagining what lies beneath. And we all know that Quint is one of the best fictional characters of all time. The attitude, the swagger of this man, he was love at first sight for me. But he's also a guy that has a lot of layers and definitely can't be stereotyped. So all I'm saying is, if there was one fictional character that I could sit down and have a drink with, you know it would be Quint. The 5th category in this list is ghost/paranormal film, which I had to go with 1982's Poltergeist. A family moves into a new home that was built on a former cemetery, so naturally, creepy, wild stuff starts to happen. We have like your typical haunted house stuff, and the youngest daughter is pulled into a portal that is conveniently located in her bedroom closet. This movie single-handedly gave every child a fear of TV static, and kids today will never understand that fear. And y'all know what I'm talking about, okay? When it was late at night, you fell asleep, and all of a sudden, the TV static starts, and you jumped out of your skin, you had brown pants. It was just like the most terrifying thing that ever happened. And we know that no matter how scared you were, when it happened, you couldn't help but say the famous line. They're here. The 6th category on this list is zombie film, and I'm gonna take a bit of a left turn with this one and go with 1998's Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. Being somebody that's not a huge fan of zombie films, I tend to kind of like the more comedic zombie movies, right? So I was struggling to think of one that I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this zombie film, which is why I ultimately decided to go in the family horror category of this genre. In this Scooby movie, we have the gang reunited after a hiatus, and they're going to solve the mystery of a bayou that is allegedly haunted by the ghost of Pirate Morgan Moonscar. And the gang was on hiatus because they got fed up with solving all these mysteries, and they got bored with, oh look, it's another guy in a mask. So this is perfect because they come to Louisiana and find a case with real zombies. This is the best Scooby-Doo movie or feature of all time, and you cannot change my mind. It takes place in New Orleans, it has werecats, and it has one of the best songs of all time. The 7th category on this list is demonic possession / exorcism film, and I had to go with 2013's The Conjuring. This 2013 movie, based off of one of the haunting cases of paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren, is a absolutely beautiful film. Now, the real life Ed and Lorraine Warren and their relationship, it's questionable, right? But this fictional version of them is so amazing and just, I love it. And this movie is legitimately scary. I don't care who you are. Now, I'm a person, I watch a lot of horror movies, okay? I'm probably a tad bit desensitized to a lot of things that other people would just never watch. And also, on top of that, I have seen this movie multiple times. I know what's coming. I know what happens in the movie. Yet, when that witch is revealed to be on top of that wardrobe, brown pants. I can't. Bathsheba? Girl, get out of here. I can't. But I love it. It's so good. But I also hate it. It's very conflicting. But perhaps that's why I love this film, is that no matter how many times I watch it, a lot of the scares are just so good that you feel like you're watching them for the first time. The game, oh my God, every time I'm scared. This movie just beautifully balances these horrific events and this beautiful love story just to make the perfect film. Now, the rest of the Conjuring universe is not great. Some of them are okay, but this first movie and the second one are some of the best horror movies of all time, in my opinion. The 8th category on this list is holiday horror film, so I had to go with 2007's Trick or Treat. Now, I know when most people think of a holiday horror film, they immediately go to Christmas, right? But I had to go with a film that's from my favorite holiday, Halloween. This anthology film weaves together stories that all take place on Halloween night, and the way that they're linked is with the cutest dang demon you've ever seen in your life, this little dude named Sam. And Sam is just like all of us, okay? He loves Halloween. And anybody that doesn't respect the rules and the vibes and the amazingness that is Halloween, he kills them. Okay, well maybe that part isn't so much like the rest of us, but I do respect his love for Halloween. This is the perfect film to watch on Halloween night. I mean, you have the candy, the costumes, the jack-o'-lanterns, the vibes, and Sam. It's perfect, and I love it so much. The 9th category on this list is psychological horror film, and I had to go with 2019's Us. This is a category that I struggled with a lot, and I didn't think that I would struggle. I didn't think that there were this many psychological horror films that I loved, and I proved myself wrong here. In this movie, the Wilson family goes on vacation to their summer home when people break into the house. However, the people that break into their house look exactly like them. And this is a trip. I mean, what's scarier than yourself? Your own worst enemy. This movie is gorgeous. It has this velvety, buttery just effect to every scene. I can't put my finger on what it is. Jordan Peele, he just went all out with the cinematography, and I eat it up. It's a literal work of art, and it has Easter eggs, hidden messages, and 80s references all over the place. One of my favorite references is the funhouse, or a lot of scenes that they're all filmed on the Santa Cruz Beach boardwalk, where one of my favorite movies of all time, The Lost Boys, was filmed. And one of the characters even goes to mention this by saying, "Oh, I think they're filming a movie over there by the carousel today." I love it. I still believe. Our 10th and last category on the list is science fiction horror movie, and I had to go with 1982's The Thing. Imagine it. You're stuck in a building with a bunch of people you don't trust, and you're slowly going insane. And no, I am not talking about Buc-ee's. I'm talking about The Thing. A research team in Antarctica comes face to face with a alien life form that has the ability to shapeshift into the appearance of its victims. So, whoever you're around, are they really that person? Are they a freaky little alien? You don't know. This movie has top-tier 80s creature effects and Kurt Russell, which are two of my favorite things in cinema. The special effects in this movie are some of the greatest special effects and creature effects that we have ever seen on screen, and they still hold up today in 2025 as I am filming this, and that is extraordinary to say. As someone who is a lover of practical effects and a hater of over-the-top CGI, it would be disrespectful for me to not pick this movie for this category, but I will also back that up and say science fiction horror is not my favorite, and I think that is because I have an intense fear of aliens. So I tend to kind of stay away from science fiction, but this movie is perfect. Now I know I said that was gonna be the last category, but your boy Adam suggested that we add a bonus category of a genre that was not mentioned in the list. One of my favorite movie genres of all time, horror comedies, was missing, but I also noticed slashers was missing. So in the wise words of the little girl from the taco commercial, I said, why not have both? So, in honor of that, I'm picking 2006's Hatchet. This is the movie that kicked off the slasher franchise, written and directed by Adam Green, and it is severely underrated. Two friends go to New Orleans for Mardi Gras and then decide to go on a swamp tour where they come face to face with the swamp legend Victor Crowley, who is basically just like Bayou Jason. This is B horror movie at its finest. This movie knows what it is, and Adam Green plays on that beautifully. Sure, the acting is campy and the gore is a bit over the top, but it's hilarious and so much fun to watch. Another fun thing about this movie is the cameos from horror legends like Robert Englund, Tony Todd, and of course, Kane Hodder, who plays our villain, Victor Crowley. I love this franchise, and honestly, each one just gets a little bit better. Like, they're just... How often can you say that in a franchise? I love Hatchet, and maybe as I'm speaking about this, I realize that I need to do a video breaking down the Victor Crowley franchise. I think that's gonna happen soon. Thank you so much, Adam, for tagging me in this challenge. I love a good challenge, and this is right up my alley. Nerding out about horror movies. I loved it, stressed me out a little bit, but I did have a good time. Now I'm challenging everyone watching this, if you like making videos, do the horror movie challenge. Or if you're not comfortable with that, leave your 10 in the comments below. I will be tagging a few YouTube creators in the comments, so I fully expect y'all to give me your 10 in the horror movie challenge. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so when new videos hit the channel, you'll be notified. And as always, thank y'all for watching, and I'll catch you nerds later.